You know when they say you should, every time you change your CO2 cylinder, put a little bit of lubricant on the end of the cylinder? Well, this is why. Welcome back to Canic Air. So what I have here is a Crosman 2240 CO2 air pistol, 22 caliber, bolt action. This has been Crosman's go-to target type, plinking type air gun for quite a number of years. And even though Crosman brought out some more advanced guns in many years ago, like the Mark I target, Mark IIs, um, they gravitated back to this old simple design, which I think dates to like the Crosman 150 or something like that. Um, Pretty straightforward, simple gun. There are pump-up versions of the gun. I've got the 1322 with the swinging forend, basic same layout. Breech block here, barrel goes in there. The old simple cast grip frame, and yeah, it's been modernized here and there over the years. Now the current ones are automatic cocking. You just pull that back. Not only does it open the breech, it also cocks the hammer. My own 1322, which I've had since the 1980s, it you have to open the breech separately, and you also have to cock the hammer separately on it. But this is the newer version, somewhat newer version. Not sure what holds for this gun in the years to come. Now that Daisy and Gammo have acquired Crosman, I know that most places seem to be sold out on this at the moment, but that just could just be inventory issues. This gun is owned by my dad. He's had it for quite a number of years, and as I said, he wasn't quite looking after the putting a little drop of oil on the end of your cartridge before you put it into the gun. And basically, this cartridge welded itself to the seal, and when he was finally able to pry it out, it tore the seal with it. So, yeah, we need new seals. And again, inventory is being difficult at the moment. The Canadian supplier of Crosman parts didn't have any of the face seal, is what they call that. So had to go further afield. You can get them from the U.S., but they were yeah, shipping is just crazy for that. So I ended up getting a kit, a full kit. What the heck? Why not? If that seal is getting old and cranky, well then probably it's time to replace them all. So these actually came in from jolly old England. There's King Charles on the stamp. Should be a full kit. I actually got some O-ring sporting grease. There we go. And that's the seals. How many do we have to replace here? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm guessing maybe not all of them. Anyway, this is the one we need. Yeah, it's definitely perished. So I'm guessing a little bit of silicone oil or Pelgon oil on it every time you put it in there helps keep it in working order. But for the moment, we're going to replace all these little beasties if I can get to them all. So that'll be kind of fun. We're going to take the gun, strip the gun right down, and find out where all those go. Let's go along for the ride. So I'm putting the valve back together. I'm going to install this shiny new white O-ring to keep the valve body nice and tight. Bit of the nice silicone grease that was provided, slide it on there, and nope, it's just not going to fit. Seems to be a bit thicker than the original one. Pull the other one out of the package to see if there's a difference. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. Nope, just not going to fit. So I went to my boxes of assorted O-rings and found a couple that would be actually seem to be work just fine. The only thing I can think of is that perhaps the European versions of the gun maybe have a slightly different valve in them. It's possible. A little bit of oil here and there to keep the spring and the valve lubricated. The blast of air doesn't get back there, so. There's that all-important face seal that just pushes into the front of the valve there. Interesting, the one seal that didn't get in the kit that I thought there might have been is the one that goes around the transfer port. It's a flat washer, not really an O-ring, and there wasn't one in the kit, so not that there's anything wrong with the original one, so I just stuffed it back in there. Struggled with this a little bit until I realized I was putting the part on upside down. The longer part of the transfer port goes upwards to the barrel, but it was still wasn't letting me push the part back in. I guess the ring is just on it's got a bit of burrs around the edges of it, so I trimmed them down just a little bit. Take the rough edges off and it'll fit better. Bit of regular gun oil on the back there. You don't want to use silicone oil on moving metal parts. It's all very well and good until you realize that you can't put the barrel band back on with the breech in place, or the barrel in place. So slide the barrel band back on first. Had to loosen it all off again. The transfer port still being a bit stubborn, but got it back in. Except that original washer or gasket is a little bit swollen and it's just being stubborn. I guess tighter is better than being looser though. So the hammer's back in. Breech plug back in. Tighten down the barrel band. Still amazing how wonky that trigger mechanism is in these Crosmans. And still have a mindset to take it apart and put some nylon washers in there to just keep the trigger from flopping around too much. And if you've been paying attention, you'll realize that I've left out a couple of parts. And I take the grip frame back off again. And that screw drives me crazy on the back there. A Robertson number 2 fits it just perfectly. Yes, put in the ball bearing and a little spring for the safety before dropping the assembly back on top of the grip. Still can't figure out why Crosman, of all people, used a Robertson and slotted compatible screws in these things, but yeah, it works beautifully though. Yeah, I managed to do it off camera. A little dab of oil on the end of the CO2 cartridge. Yep, it works. So at the range, I decided to shoot it straight over the chronograph. Make sure it's healthy. Yeah, 438, not bad. So I got an average of 438.2, which is 5.73 foot-pounds for those who care. But yeah, so it's a decently powerful and decently speedy pistol for a .22 caliber. So shooting for some groups, I tried the Kamita branded JSB manufactured lighter weight pellets. These are equivalent to a JSB RS pellet. So these are 13.43 grains, which is on the slightly light side for 22. Pretty hefty size group though, 42 millimeters, so 1.7 inches. I wasn't terribly happy with that, so I thought I'd give it another try. So same pellets, just getting a little more used to the trigger and the sights. Got that down to a 1-inch group, so 24.5 millimeters. Practice makes perfect. I tried some RWS Super Points, but I couldn't get them to feed into the gun. They literally would not go into the breech. So I gave up on those and tried the slightly heavier Diana branded JSBs. These are over 15 grains. Yeah, 15.6 grains. Slightly larger group than the last time, 1.1 inches. That's really not neither here nor there. Just see what I'm capable of doing with this gun at the moment. So there we go. Got all back together again, and reasonably quickly. Of course, there was some shipping time there that, you know, you don't want to wait an extra week to watch the video. But yeah, the Crosman 2240, which is strangely enough a design that went out of production in the 1960s and then came back in the late 80s. And it has kind of stood the test of time. It's a popular gun again, and as I said before, a favorite with people who like to tinker and modify. So, yep. But nice thing is there's parts available to keep them going, hopefully for many, many years to come. Anyway, thanks for watching. Canic Air will return. Consider subscribing.